அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். அற்புதமான இந்த மாநாட்டின் நிறைவு தருவாயில் இருக்கிறோம். உண்மையிலேயே நிறைவான ஒரு தருவாய் அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லணும். நம்மிடையில் அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு சிறப்பான நபர் இன்றைக்கு இணைந்திருக்கிறார். தெற்கின் எழுச்சியை பற்றி பேசிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். திராவிட அரசியலின் அடிச்சுவடியே மொழி உணர்வு, சமூகத்துக்கான எழுச்சியில் இருந்து உருவானதுதான் என்பதை யாருமே மறுக்க முடியாது. திராவிட சிந்தனையாளர்களே இந்த மண்ணின் பகுத்தறிவு காவலர்கள். அந்த விதத்தில் கமிங் ஃப்ரம் த டிராவிடியன் ஸ்டாக் என்பதுதான் இவருடைய அடையாளம். சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. சனாதனம் குறித்து திராவிட அரசியலின் புதிய கருத்து அல்ல இது. இதை சொன்னதால் சனாதன ஆதரவாளர்களால் அன்று இவருடைய தாத்தாவின் தலைக்கு விலை வைக்கப்பட்டது வரலாறு. மீண்டும் இன்று தன் தலைக்கும் விலை வைத்தும் கூட, அது தேசிய அளவில் பெருஞ்செய்தியாக பெருக்கெடுத்தும் கூட, தன்னுடைய தாத்தாவின் பாணியிலேயே சொன்ன கருத்தில் இருந்து பின்வாங்காமல் பதில் கொடுத்த விதத்தில் இவர் 5ஆம் தலைமுறை திராவிட அரசியலின் முகமாக மக்கள் மனதில் ஆழ பதிந்திருக்கிறார். திராவிட கொள்கையின் பரப்புரையை தற்போதைய தேசிய அரசியல் களத்திலும் தவிர்க்க முடியாத அரசியல் ஆளுமையாக இத்தனை விரைவில் உருவாக்கி பல நல்ல அரசியல் விமர்சனங்களையும் நம்பிக்கையையும் கவனத்தையும் ஈர்த்து வருகிறார் இவர். திமுகவின் சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர், தமிழக அரசின் இளைஞர் நலன் மற்றும் விளையாட்டு மேம்பாட்டுத்துறை அமைச்சர், திமுக இளைஞரணி இதயங்களின் மாமன்னன் திரு உதயநிதி ஸ்டாலின் அவர்களை பேசுவதற்காக அழைக்கின்றோம்.
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be a part of this conclave and deliver this address. I thank ABP Network for giving me the topic, the Tamil Nadu model, what India can learn. This conclave is aptly named the Southern Rising Summit 2023. Yes, the South is rising. Especially Tamil Nadu has not just been rising, but also guiding the Indian subcontinent. For the last 50 years, the South Indian states have grown faster than the national average. ஒரு நல்ல அரசு என்பது உணவு உற்பத்தி, கல்வி, சுகாதாரம், தொழில்துறை ஆகிய அம்சங்களில் சிறந்து விளங்க வேண்டும் என்று சொல்வார்கள். Tamil Nadu has attained greater heights in the field of food security, agriculture, education, health and industrial sector. சுதந்திரம் பெற்ற பிறகு இந்திய மாநிலங்கள் பெரும்பாலானவை ஒரே நிலையில்தான் இருந்தன. எல்லா மாநிலத்திற்கும் ஒரே மாதிரியான வாய்ப்புகள் தான் இருந்தது. ஆனால் தென் மாநிலங்கள், குறிப்பாக சொல்லணும்னா தமிழ்நாடு, இந்த அளவுக்கு முன்னேற்றம் கண்டிருக்கிறது என்றால் இங்கு நிகழ்ந்த சமூக பொருளாதார புரட்சி தான் காரணம். உழுதுவருக்கே நிலம் சொந்தம் என்ற வகையில் நில உச்சவரம்பு சட்டத்தை கொண்டு வந்து ஏழை எளிய மக்களுக்கு நிலங்களை வழங்கியவர் டாக்டர் கலைஞர் அவர்கள். உணவு உற்பத்தியை பெருக்கியதோடு உணவுப் பொருட்களை குறைந்த விலைக்கும் கட்டணமின்றியும் அனைவருக்கும் கொண்டு சேர்த்தது நம்முடைய திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழக அரசு. உணவு கொள்முதல் மற்றும் விநியோக அமைப்பாக தமிழ்நாடு சிவில் சப்ளைஸ் கார்ப்பரேஷன் உள்ளது. தமிழ்நாட்டின் பொது விநியோக முறை, பப்ளிக் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் சிஸ்டம் என்பது மிகவும் வலிமையானது. The DMK has been giving equal importance to the health and education also. Our Honorable Chief Minister has built the state-of-the-art library called Kalaignar Centenary Library at Madurai and a 1,000-bedded Kalaignar Centenary multi-speciality hospital at Chennai at a cost of rupees 250 crores each. Tamil Nadu has achieved a phenomenal growth in industrial sector too. Tamil Nadu is the first state in India to frame an IT policy as early as 1997 and introduce a need-based computer education in education institutions in big way. We are one of the top economies of the country. We are competing with Maharashtra in the field of industrial development. In my view, one of the most important factors that contributed to this faster growth was the linguistic flexibility and acceptance of English. In 1960s, when there was an effort to remove English from being the official language in India, the DMK was in the forefront of the fight against Hindi imposition. The DMK cadres across the state protested and made it a people's movement and prevented the linguistic chauvinism. We succeeded in retaining English as an official language. The results of the successful resistance are evident from the growth Tamil Nadu has achieved recently. Our people have gone places, from NASA to Silicon Valley Big Tech. You name it, you see Indians, mainly Tamilians, occupying important positions. The most recent examples one could cite for Tamil Nadu's illustrious growth story is the contribution of state-educated Tamil Nadu scientists in the numerous ISRO missions in the recent decade. From Chandrayaan-1 project director, Thiru Mailsami Annadurai, to Thiru Veeramuthuvel, the brain behind Chandrayaan-3 mission, and not to mention Ms. Nihar Shaji, the project director of Aditya L1, the state has produced one of the best talents in the field of space science. I studied in the state board Tamil medium school and attained this height, Thiru Veeramuthuvel said in a felicitation event arranged by the Tamil Nadu government. They are also our answer to those who question the linguistic policy and the growth formula of the Dravidian model. The growth story and vision of the Dravidian model, in fact, did not stop with working great thinkers and scientists and trained skilled youths. The Dravidian model of Tamil Nadu, particularly our visionary leaders, late Tandai Periyar, Peringar Anna, and Dr. Kalaignar, piloted some of the reformatory and revolutionary changes in the state. I would like to point out a few. Legalizing self-respect marriages in 1967, in the first tenure of the DMK government, Supreme Court has upheld similar legislation only recently. Nationalization of buses in 1970s, providing free spectacles to rural people, inheritance rights of women in ancestral property, which was again upheld by the Supreme Court a few years ago, was legislated by Kalaignar in 1989. In the same year, Kalaignar also formed the self-help groups for women. These two schemes of the DMK ushered in a remarkable change in the social fabric of the state. Kalaignar abolished common entrance tests and produced lakhs of first-generation engineers and doctors from the oppressed and the subaltern section of the society by waiving the fees completely. Taking over from our Kalaignar, our beloved Chief Minister has now taken welfare governance to a whole new level by launching schemes never ever thought about in the entire Indian subcontinent. The Chief Minister's breakfast scheme, benefiting almost 17 lakh government school students. The Nan Mudalvan scheme, turning 13 lakh college students as industry ready, and Vidiyal Payanam, offering costless bus travel for women, have turned the Dravidian model government a role model government for other states to emulate. The Telangana government has emulated our CM's breakfast scheme recently, while Karnataka government has replicated our Vidiyal Payanam scheme. To top it all, the Kalaignar Magalir Urumai Thogai Thittam, the crown jewel of our government, and the largest ever scheme implemented by a state in terms of fiscal responsibility, has transformed our Dravidian model government into a matter of envy across the country. About 1 crore 6 lakh and 52,000 women are receiving rupees 1,000 per month. The other idea that DMK has stood for constantly is federalism. We have been advocating for state rights from the time of DMK's inception in 1949. We believe that the one-size-fits-all approach will not work for a vast and a diverse country. Should frame the broader policy framework and provide sufficient space for the states to design and implement schemes that are suitable to the needs of the people of the state. This approach will allow the states to adapt and innovate. This approach will allow for cross-learning. States will learn from each other on the best practices. The number of people who go to colleges in Tamil Nadu, the gross enrollment ratio, GER, in Tamil Nadu is 52%. This is better than the United States of America, where the GER is around 41%, and on par with the Scandinavian countries. It's a phenomenal achievement, an achievement that stands testimony to the Dravidian model of governance. I have just given you a couple of examples. Likewise, some states would have performed well on a particular parameter. States could learn from each other and modify it appropriately. Therefore, we advocate a system where the union government acts as an enabler and supports the states to design and implement schemes that are relevant to their own context. This can be the approach for truly cooperative federalism. Unfortunately, in the last few years, the union government has not followed this approach. Rather, they have been using all possible means to centralize power and dictate terms to the states. The union government is using the independent investigative agencies to hunt its political opponents across the country. The union government is sending governors to the non-BJP ruled states to ruin their administration. The functioning of Tamil Nadu governor is a case in point. NEET is another catastrophe which was imposed on Tamil Nadu. Early in the last century, there was a rule saying to study MBBS, you need to know Sanskrit. What is the connection between MBBS, becoming a doctor, and learning Sanskrit? It was the Justice Party that abolished the rule. The current BJP government has imposed NEET, which has killed around 22 lives in Tamil Nadu, and many students who wanted to be doctors had killed themselves in other parts of the country too. Most recently, the union government has taken another outrageously regressive step to hamper development in medical infrastructure of the Tamil Nadu. A recent example of this council is the guidelines issued by the National Medical Council. The guidelines say the medical colleges shall follow the ratio of 100 MBBS seats for every 10 lakh population. If these guidelines are to be followed, none of the 5 South Indian states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana, can build new medical colleges. Why should our states be stopped from building new colleges? This approach will only penalize the best performing states. It is not new that South is paying higher tax to the union government and getting very least amount in return. Let me put out a statistic for your understanding. Do you know that for every 1 rupee Tamil Nadu pays as tax to the union government, we receive only 29 paise in return? Our Honorable Finance Minister, Thiru Thangam Tenner Savargal, even pointed out this injustice in our state assembly yesterday. Since 2014, Tamil Nadu has paid tax to the tune of rupees 5 lakh crores to the union government. But we have received just 2 lakh crore rupees in return. However, in a BJP's ruled state, for example, Uttar Pradesh, which paid rupees 2 lakh crores as tax in these 9 years, has received return as 9 lakh crores. This is outrightly an injustice meted out by the union government to the best performing states. Not just this, a bigger conspiracy is being hatched to punish the southern states for the good performance through the impending delimitation exercise of the Lok Sabha constituencies. In the 70s, the union government promoted the population control program. The South Indian states implemented the program very effectively. Their population growth rate was slowed. In comparison to the other states that did not implement the program well, whose population continued to grow at a higher rate, this effectively reduced the population share of the South Indian states. Today, this is being used against our South Indian states. As you all would know, the Constitution mandates that each state must receive seats in proportion to its population, and constituencies should be of roughly equal to the size of the population. The union government pushed states to reduce population in the 1970s. This principle was kept in abeyance through a constitutional amendment. The amendment to the Constitution passed by the Parliament in 1976 froze the number of seats in the Lok Sabha till 2000. In 2001, when again the issue came up, the states that were likely to lose seats protested. Due to this protest, the then NDA government piloted another constitutional amendment, 84th Amendment to the Constitution, that extended the freeze for another 20. We are just 2 years away from the deadline. So how will this delimitation affect us? It is clear that all 5 states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana will lose their seat share in Lok Sabha. If delimitation is done without changing the number of seats in Lok Sabha, Tamil Nadu will lose 8 seats from the current 39 seats to, it will be limited to 31, decreased to 31. This is a clear attempt to silence the voice of southern states. Our Chief Minister has called the delimitation a sword hanging over our head. We should be mindful of the conspiracy that is being hatched to take away our rights and act accordingly. I am hopeful that most political parties that are fighting for the state rights will definitely oppose this move. Every right-thinking citizen will confront this move, and I can guarantee you that DMK will be at the forefront of this people's movement. Finally, I have a request for the media friends who have lent your ears to me. From the above points, you would have understood that Tamil Nadu is distinct and a class apart from the rest of the country on most spheres of the social development. However, the media, mostly the upcountry media, has been prejudiced in its perception of Tamil Nadu. Instead of showcasing our success stories and uniqueness, a few northern India media paints a grim picture of the state as being divisive. We are not divisive. We are great patriots and second to none. In fact, we are among the first in contributing to the national development. I can also cite instances when the media had fallen prey to the malicious designs of some selfish political parties like the Bharatiya Janata Party. Recently, I spoke about the importance of creating an equal society without caste discrimination. My statement was mischievously twisted and falsely spread by the BJP for cheap political gains. Instead of exposing the falsehood of the BJP and the truth in my statement, the media, mainly the North Indian media, organized exhaustive debates for almost 10 days. It was worrisome to see the media fall for some malicious political designs instead of speaking the truth to power. ஊடகங்களுக்கும் சமூக பொறுப்பு இருக்கின்றது. எப்படி அரசியல்வாதிகளுக்கு சமூக பொறுப்பு இருக்கிறதோ அதே போல ஊடகங்களுக்கும் சமூக பொறுப்பு இருக்கின்றது. எப்படி எங்களை மக்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்களோ உங்களையும் மக்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டுதான் இருக்கின்றார்கள். எனவே அந்த பொறுப்பை உணர்ந்து நீங்கள் அனைவரும் செயல்பட வேண்டும் என்று இந்த நேரத்தில் கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றேன். I would like to conclude my speech with a famous quote of a great leader, Perangar Anna. Anna said, "Go to the people, live among them, learn from them, save them, serve them, plan with them, start with what they know, build with what they have." Our Honorable Chief Minister is following what Perangar Anna has said 6 decades ago and running a people-centric and public welfare government. I sincerely wish the media up north would be more accommodative and democratic in engaging the Southerners like us and change the wrong perception of Tamil Nadu in the interest of the nation. Tamil Nadu, mainly DMK, and our people will continue to contribute to the national development. Thank you. Vanakkam.